All right, let's go.
See, I didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Normally I do it. I didn't do it
Why not?
because I have a thing that I can plop in now and do it for me. So no, I don't have to do it.
But then how am I supposed to know when to go?
You're going. You've been going.
But that's...
You have been,
I don't like that.
it's been rolling all this time. So, here we are. Oh, what time is it? 3:20. 3:29 p.m. Aaron?
Nap time.
Oh boy. That means you have to start coming out in the morning then. That means you have to come out before the sun gets over this space. So you either got to do early morning, you got to do afternoon. It doesn't look like you're ready for afternoon. No, you don't look ready. You look like you're about to fall asleep.
Well, I've been laying down with my leg up for a couple
Yeah,
hours.
you have to talk to the thing, remember? You're now outside, not in an echoey Egyptian apartment. You're now back in...
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you dare.
Literally sunny Grand Rapids. Back again.
As you say it, the sun starts peeking through.
It doesn't
in the
matter.
back.
We're in the shade. That's why we're here now.
I understand, but it like literally peeked through, as you said.
Sunny Grand Rapids.
What are you writing there?
So apparently
what?
the Egyptian man land was all a nightmare.
Unfortunately.
It was just a nightmare. We
It's a
really
very
never
long
really
nightmare.
never left. It was just a nightmare.
No, we did leave.
No, I don't think we did.
Because we lost money. And
How do you mean we lost?
going to England and then going to Egypt. Yeah, it was real.
You sure it was real?
Yeah.
It is real.
Very
It is
sure.
real. Yeah. Back again. You ready to tell them about? Go ahead. You can go ahead and do
We
it.
don't have to do a thing first?
What kind of thing?
Roll the intro.
Really? That's what you were doing. You're prompting him.
I was prompting him.
You just can't back away from that, can you?
No. Intro comes before we start talking.
No, we talk sometimes for 20 minutes
Nuh-uh.
before the intro.
We shouldn't be doing this.
Sometimes that's how it goes down. So,
So we left.
you wanted to...
Oh, wow.
That was...
We're done.
That's it. We're
That's
out of
it.
here. Podcast over.
If you.
Wow. You don't get to say if you. The only way... Even now, even if I'm not here, you don't get to say if you. Because I got to record it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's on your list? Because I don't...
Oh, boy. What's on my list?
Yeah, let's start with your numbers. You got like a 50 million.
I got
things
15 points here.
All right.
15 points. A 15-point list. It's not a plan, but it's a list. Well, the first thing on there is what I asked you to tell the people. Our trip.
That we left.
Our trip.
Egypt. May 27th. And arrived in Grand Rapids on May 27th. So we've been dealing with a little bit of jet lag and adjusting to life back in the U.S.
I really don't feel like that big of an adjustment.
Wait till you go to the doctor.
Well, I mean, I think going to the doctor doesn't mean anything to me.
Oh, it was an experience.
But this, we left essentially in the summer, the end of the summer, and we come back at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
It's been almost a year.
Yeah.
We It literally feels like we left and came back with the same weather almost.
Yeah.
So
Except for it was like pouring down rain and cold when we arrived.
it was all a nightmare. All that stuff you guys saw, it was all a nightmare. It didn't really happen.
When
It happened. We captured it.
It didn't. It was all a weird backdrop with a crazy crooked
It was
table.
all green screen.
Okay.
We pulled the table off the street and got a green
We were
screen.
on the volume.
The what?
You know what the volume is? Oh, you got to look that up. The volume is what they taped the Mandalorian on.
Oh, yes, I do know what that is. That thing, if we had that.
know what the
Listen, if
volume-
I had that, then I
that'd
wouldn't
be
have
awesome.
created the nonsense we had.
What do you mean? Explain.
You could create anything you want. Have any background you want.
Really? Why are you guys focused on...
I wouldn't have
Why?
created that mess.
I know, but the volume... What do you mean? We had one of the nicest places on the nicest streets in Egypt.
Lies and fallacies,
That-
America.
That's a sad statement.
Look,
That's
So,
what we were
while
told we got
living-
there.
while living in Egypt, you are not allowed to be honest about your environment.
Oh, we're jumping to honesty already?
We're not allowed to be honest about the people. We're not allowed to be honest because the Egypt manland is not honest.
Wow, you just jumped to number 15.
All right, well, we're going to get into this right now. So, you want
You
to...
literally jumped all the way to the bottom of the list.
Sorry, I haven't seen your list. I know nothing about your
Don't
list.
tell them about the
Okay,
thing before you jump into the bashing of the Egypt man.
No,
man.
it starts with...
I'm sorry,
start.
truth-telling.
So
of the Egypt
there's no
man.
bashing. This is truth. So when we arrived in Egypt, we were supposed to be getting work permits and all of these things. And one of the things that the owner did not do was get our work visas. So we were in Egypt on a tourist visa, which meant that we were only supposed to have 30 days or 60 days. 30 days, I think.
our visa was 30 days.
30 days before we...
And then we were supposed to renew.
Yeah, and the only way
And
to
we
renew...
could have renewed.
No, the only way to renew was to leave the country. And we couldn't do that because we
No,
couldn't
no,
even
no.
afford
No,
groceries.
that's not true. We
Yes,
could
I looked
nope,
it up.
Nope, we could have renewed. We just had to go. There was a place that we could have gone to renew our tourist visa. We did not have to leave the country to renew our tourist visa.
Oh, that's not what I read.
Nope.
Anyway, it goes we couldn't afford
And
it
we were next to Cairo.
because the guy wasn't paying us the way we were supposed to be paid.
Here.
So anyway, when we were leaving, we were prepared for the worst.
What's
As far-
okay?
as
Then
far as-
explain the worst.
When you overstay your visa in a country, you pay a fee. And it can be a very small amount and it can be a large amount. When we were doing the research to find out what our potential overstay fee was going to be, it said anywhere from 1,515 Egyptian pounds per person to that amount times the number of months you've been overstayed. So we had prepared 4,800 pounds per person in cash to go to the airport because they could have potentially asked for that much or more. If they asked for more, we didn't have it, but they could have asked for that much. So we get to the immigration, we're getting ready to go get to the gates, and Aaron goes first, and they're asking him crazy questions like, how old are you? Aaron doesn't know how old he is.
Sure don't.
Aaron doesn't even know what day of the week it is.
No, wait a minute now.
It's Sunday.
Let's not get it crazy. I know
Alright.
what day of the week it is.
So she
I
says,
don't know my age though.
she says,
That's what he's for.
your passport or your visa is expired. You have to go pay the fee. Go over there. Now Aaron was smart enough to ask, where's go over there? So he goes and he disappears and we don't know where he went. So now it's our turn to go over there and pay the fee. And we walked out of the area where we were, walked all the way over to another place. They sent us back to where we were. And just as we were coming back, Aaron's coming out of the office and he's like, go in there now. The man only charged me 2,020 baht. Or pounds, I'm sorry.
What the hell?
Boy, what the story are you telling?
Sorry, I just was typing
Baht?
baht in a comment to somebody.
Baht is the money in
In
Thailand.
Thailand.
They don't take the Thai money
No.
for your visa in Egypt.
But they would take U.S. dollars in Egypt. So,
Of course they would.
Yeah, they would.
2020
so Aaron's
US
like,
dollars.
take this money that he had some change. He's like, take this. You're gonna need it. Go in there and pay. Do it quickly because guy could have changed his mind.
Yeah, you could have charged each person a different thing if you felt like it.
Right. So I
Even
go
though we
in
all
there.
came in at the same time.
Aaron comes in. This is my wife and my children. He's like, great.
He's a nice guy.
2,020 pounds per person. And so I just break out the cash and I'm just counting. Because I just want this in and out and no issues. We ended up saving like $600 by him not charging us the amount. It could have been potentially so much more.
It really did feel like it was like a set thing. Like for him, it wasn't that he was doing anything. He didn't make an issue. He just matter of factly said 2020. That was it.
So 2,020 pounds is $128. It could have
But the overstay was $1,500, right?
a minimum.
Right, but I mean that was the first overstay amount was $1,500. He
Yeah.
really didn't charge us that much. But
It could have been $306. This is per person.
Yeah.
So we ended up paying 8,080 pounds, which is $515, and it could have been. Sorry.
oh my.
It could have been $1,224.
Yeah. Like I said, but it was the way that he did it. It was like
You got here
Like
in
I've-
2020. You were going to pay 2020.
like I've been doing this all day,
Right.
kind of thing.
So we also had to go and get COVID tests before we could travel.
Are you telling the story like Pulp Fiction here?
I'm sorry. And we had 3 COVID tests prior to this one.
We are the COVID test.
And we've never paid for a COVID test until Egypt. And when I called, I knew we would have to pay, but I called and I said, okay, how much is this going to be? And she said, 118. And I said, 1118. She said, yes. And,
Okay, that's not.
or I'm sorry,
118.
118.
Oh
She
my.
said yes, 118. And she repeated it like 6 times, like 118. We get there, it's a 1,080 per person.
Tell him. I told you.
You did
Go
tell
ahead
me.
and tell him. Because
So then Aaron,
I was sitting there going, that's not right.
yeah, Aaron and 2 had to like go running around in 100-degree heat trying to find an ATM that A,
But it's a dry heat.
would take our card,
Why
B
did you
was
say that like it was a good thing?
was
It don't
open.
feel like this. It feels hotter right here than it did that day.
No,
Yeah.
it didn't.
Yeah, it does. It feels hotter right here, right now, than it did that day walking around.
I don't think it's hot at
No.
all.
It's not. It's the humidity, and there's no humidity there.
Anyway, how many
Humidity has a
ATMs
feel
did
like-
you end up going to?
It wasn't the number of ATMs.
Or banks?
It was.
4 banks.
We went to different places. Some of them are right next to each other, but it was. The first one didn't take our card.
The second
we had-
one was broken. The third one was broken. The fourth one
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah.
So
But that really wasn't the issue. The issue was I had no cell service and I couldn't employ a map. And the fact that I couldn't do anything with the map meant that we were just walking around in a general area trying to find where we had just
Right, the
come
hospital.
to for the first. No, we weren't really lost.
We
We
got
were
lost.
in the area. We were literally a couple blocks away.
No, we got lost.
We weren't lost.
You can be lost in your own house.
Okay, no, you can't. I
Yeah,
can't.
You can.
But we were literally in the area, but it was just recognizing the buildings again, and we were coming from a different direction,
and you rode there in a car, but now you're on foot trying to.
'cause I was
so-
paying attention when we rode in.
It was the doctor who was administering the test. She had me fill out all the paperwork, which is not normal. I don't normally get to fill out the paperwork because medical stuff. You have to do your own thing. So they had me sign everything, and then Aaron just had to sign theirs when they got there, but everything was completed. And she's like, oh, let me do your test while we're waiting for your husband. And I was like, are you sure? What if we don't get the money? She's like, oh, don't worry about it. So I'm thinking, why are you charging us so much? Because this is the foreigner's fee. This is another country that does, oh, you're foreign, we're going to take all your money before you leave. So she's like, oh, don't worry. And then she did mine and Keegan's, and we sat there for another 30 minutes waiting. It took you guys like 45, 50 minutes
We were trucking.
Go and come back.
You have no idea how fast. If you were out there, you'd have passed out.
Probably. That's why I sent you on your own. I didn't want to go.
I was moving. Aaron's little legs couldn't even keep up. His little short legs.
I don't have short legs. I have a short torso. There's a difference.
All I know is you couldn't keep up.
I couldn't keep up because my knee was swollen and my foot was hurting.
You couldn't keep up with the oldness. That's for sure.
So, anyway, and at least they hand deliver the results. Which was nice because he had to have a government stamp on the piece of paper in order to get on a plane. And we showed that paper probably 15 times throughout the trip.
Yep.
We flew from Cairo to Frankfurt, Germany, which was strange because there was not much German written anywhere.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's stop right there. Because now you're moving on to number 5. So.
Wow, I'm just hitting all the points. I haven't even seen your list.
Anything else about leaving Egypt?
We did all of our tour shopping in the duty free.
All of our Egyptian tourist shopping was done on our way out, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
We did no touristy things in Egypt. Nothing.
The most touristy thing that we did was go to lunch with.
We went to a Marriott hotel
with your
for
brother.
lunch.
And saw the pyramids though.
We did. We got
From
pictures.
afar. Yep.
Haha, from afar.
We weren't up close.
Oh no, buses look like beep beep.
But
Yeah.
from everything I read, that's the best way to do it anyway, because then you don't get all the hawkers and the
Did
crowd.
you say the
What?
hawkers?
Yeah, trying to hawk
Are these
their,
related to the Fockers?
I'm about to
hawk
say
their wares.
meet the hawkers,
Yeah.
or are those just people?
And
that
they
try to
couldn't
spit
come
on you?
into
Yeah,
the
that
hotel grounds. So.
Right. They
But
were
as soon as we got outside to get our car, they started coming.
Right. We
I don't
didn't have to deal with that all day.
It kind of would have been nice to go, and maybe one day we'll go back to Egypt.
I'm
maybe,
going to
and-
Luxor one day. I want to go there. And I want to go to Alexandria.
I
But
wanna
I'm
see-
going as a tourist.
Yeah, right. I don't want to ever.
I'm going to go and stay in a fancy place
Yep.
with a pool.
Yup. That's.
It's going to be me.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go to Egypt. Just
Yeah.
go as a tourist. Do not go to
Because
live
everyone
and work.
I know that goes as a tourist loves it.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love the idea that Egypt is beautiful,
You know what,
especially
though?
Cairo area, because it's certainly not.
We were in the airport. Did you hear the lady saying how behind us, there were a couple of Americans behind us. And the one said she came to Egypt because she thought it would be so beautiful and blah, blah, and history and all the things that we thought. Well, I thought. And she's like, it's so dirty and dusty and nothing's
China.
beautiful. It's so broken. And I was like, welcome to Egypt.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what kills
It's not.
me?
It's not ancient Egypt.
No.
You know what kills me is we were standing in the after we got back from running around trying to look for an ATM. We got back to the hospital and the doctor kept agreeing that and pointing out that Egypt has many problems.
Oh yeah.
And she wasn't the first one to do that.
Yeah,
I was like, but
We had a couple people that day do that.
Yeah, a lot of people did that. They're those that deal with anybody from outside of Egypt usually are apologetic to, or at least in Cairo area, they're very apologetic to the foreigner. Like, yeah, we know, you know.
But then the people that, like, one of your students who was gonna be a civil engineer or whatever.
Yeah.
All she
Was
wanted
like,
was leave.
yeah, she just wanted to leave. It's like you can't have the. How can you make it so that the people that are doing the things that you desperately need don't leave?
You gotta give them a wage that's higher, but that's the problem in Egypt is the wages are suppressed and they're so low that if you get a higher advanced degree, you're not getting paid anywhere near what, say, the international market determines as the average wage for that job. So, if you're Egyptian and working for an Egyptian firm, you're going to get paid a ton less.
Oh, yeah.
And if you just go to another country, you're going to get paid a whole lot more. So that's why they do the education the way they do. They get the education and then they get out of there.
Even if they're paid significantly less than the native person in that country, they're still making more than Egypt.
Oh, they're making a lot more.
Like one of the
lot
students,
more.
her father has lived and worked in Saudi Arabia for the last 15 years, she said. And he comes back every few months to see them, but that's the only way their family can survive. And I said, why don't you all move? Oh no, we love Egypt. We must stay in Egypt. But we can't earn enough money here. So my father works in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I don't know why you would love a country that you can't
live
afford
in.
to live in outside of Americans, I guess.
Right?
Which
Yep.
is exactly the rationale that Americans have when it comes to that. Is their patriotism keeps them here and poor.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing that Egypt is doing.
Yep. I was never so happy to get on a damn plane.
Yeah, it felt a lot like Escape from Alcatraz.
Right?
It's like just get in the boat. If you get in the boat, I don't care about the sharks.
Yep.
Just get me out of here, because
Yep, just
it
get
was
me out.
as far as I'm concerned, it was a bad decision to go there.
Yeah.
I'll never make another move decision that way.
No.
Cause
Never.
And it might be better for us is, like say you get a job in another state or I get a job in another state or whatever, one of us go. And if it's not right,
For
then
how
it's
long
not.
do you think you're going to be going without me?
You got to understand, if we'd have done that in Egypt, I'd have come back the next week.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have been like, no.
Yeah.
This is nothing here was what should be in any educational place. So let's just cut this short now, because we knew it. Of course, I've been going back through the old
we knew it the first
videos, and the first week and a half, the first full week of us working, we knew that we didn't want to be there anymore.
Oh, yeah.
We knew it was like, this is a bad situation. We don't want to be here, and we didn't have any money. So
Yep.
yeah, it was. I'm sorry, but you gotta. A lot of times people talk about truth in advertising type thing, but honestly, I don't think that the people that we were dealing with even knew how bad that they had what they had, like
Yeah.
how negative it actually was, and so then they didn't know to tell you necessarily that it was as bad as it was because they didn't have another frame of reference, whereas we had, multiple countries and something to compare.
Yeah.
And that's the other problem that, people that are stuck in their country. That's why I started saying, if you're going to learn a language, you don't learn it from people who have never left.
Right.
Because you end up not really understanding what they're teaching you, because they don't understand what they're teaching and how it fits into the world of just learning language, education, or just the world.
Right.
Anyway, I'll beat that drum some more on my
Teacher Aaron vlog.
on my vlog. Y'all been checking out my vlog, I hope. Which I need now that I've broken everything out of the case. Now I can start probably vlogging again.
All right.
Walking vlog.
So
I'm thinking about employing Keegan as my cameraman.
that's a good idea.
Good. Teach her how to be a good camera person.
What does that mean?
She is a very poor camera person at this moment.
Why? What has she done that?
She
that-
doesn't look through her camera. She looks, so she'll hold the camera like this and look at you. She
Oh, so
won't
she's
look
not seeing
through.
No.
So then she'll stand there, and then you start seeing the camera start drifting off, like having a
sure she's not
wandering
falling asleep?
eye. And I mean, there's probably some of that too, but it's, you know. And then
funny.
she'll look down, she'll realize, and and it'll be super jarring.
No, that's a
and,
transition.
no. That's a
That's
makes
a
me
sexy
wanna
Peter
vomit.
McKinnon
Yeah,
transition.
no. That's causing people to vomit. Move.
All right, so I wrote something here, but I do not know what it meant.
Read it.
I wrote, travel is not exiting. Oh, I know what I meant. Travel is not exciting, just stressful.
Yes. It's
That's-
getting
It
to the
depends,
place
like-
that is exciting. It's not the travel process.
Travel here, we're talking about the actual getting on the plane, going through immigration,
That's
all
not
of that
exciting.
stuff.
No.
And
I don't even think
very
getting in the
stressful.
car,
The
getting
first
in the
time it's not
van,
exciting.
riding to the place, to go to the place, to get on the thing, to ride to the place, and okay.
You guys
So,
get the easy part. You get to just get in and go. I have to do all the planning of the thing and
but
the
you're the.
coordinating.
But see,
and
that's the other part I said. Follow the gnome. I wrote it.
you wrote.
I follow the gnome. I'll give you your props here. You know, look, you have taken that on for all of our stuff.
I'm good at it.
You do enjoy it.
I do.
You don't like it when you're in it,
Right.
but you like jumping in and finding the deals and all of that stuff.
I don't care about the deal as much as I care about the.
You heard that. She doesn't care about the deal.
At this point, what I care about is the service. So
Uh-oh. Big money over here. Really?
what I care about is the service. Because somebody just asked this week on one of the traveling mom pages. And they said, or no, maybe it was an expat page. They were asking if you had brand loyalty to airlines or do you just go for the deal? And a year ago, I would have said I go for the deal. Today,
The art of the deal?
Air Canada
That's Trump's book.
has earned some loyalty.
Oh, I'd tell anybody, get on Air Canada.
Air Canada should be teaching master classes on customer service. Because out of all of the
I
trips...
think it's just Canada.
No. Because of all of the trips that we've had... and
Canada?
all of the issues that we've had,
Canadian.
Air Canada is the only one willing to bend over backwards to help their clients. Now, with that said...
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
Uh-oh.
The gnome is about to go in.
Air Canada, you provide excellent service.
That doesn't mean you have to talk softer.
But
Yeah.
please, for the love of everyone who listens,
Gingy.
get someone to speak French. And not just read French. If you're going to have your announcements...
I did not know where you were going with that.
I thought you were gonna say get better seats or something. Upgrade the plane. No, get somebody who does not say "Merci beaucoup."
Listen, if you are going to have announcements in English and Francais, get someone who speaks Francais.
No.
No, Chance Elise.
The Champs Elise, baby. Champs Elise.
She started talking.
She
and
said-
I didn't know she was speaking French. I thought it was a
She
different
was
language.
not speaking French.
No,
She
she
was.
was. She
No.
was. She was reading it.
She was failing miserably.
I think there was French on the thing she was reading, but she was
She said,
not speaking
she said,
French.
merci beaucoup, and Erin said, merci beaucoup de ville.
Hell yeah. That Coupe de Ville, boy.
I wrote this in the moment. What in the hell is the non-French speaker reading French on Air Canada flight from Toronto to Chicago? Holy shit.
It's like all of our... We'll get there in a minute.
I don't
Je
even think.
parle français un peu. And so for me to hear this, and I studied French way back in the dark ages in high school, and
Yup, before the guillotine.
Where
for the love of Pete,
when
man.
high school was actually high to keep away from the animals.
And Keegan, Keegan was sitting there like, oh, make it stop.
I don't even think the people who spoke French on the plane were even trying to listen.
Oh, I'm sure they were crying. I'm sure. Maybe they didn't have anyone who spoke French on the plane, and that's why she was doing the myrtleating of the language.
They could have done what that
No,
one
I
flight
doubt
did
that.
and had a pre-recorded
That's what they should have done. But
message.
I don't understand why they don't all do that.
here's the thing, like,
A recorded
Well,
message.
no,
of-
they didn't have a pre-recorded thing. It was like text-to-speech software.
But
on the
still,
one
they
flight.
could. But they could have a pre-recorded thing. They just hit a button and just
Right.
let all of the
Yeah.
announcements
but
go.
this
There was no
the
reason.
smallest plane that we'd flown in from Air Canada. This was the first time we'd ever had a crabby airline attendant. She was grouchy.
It seems like that
little crew was a hot mess.
that little flight,
Yeah.
that tiny flight from Toronto to what?
Chicago.
To Chicago.
Yeah.
From Detroit to here.
Detroit.
Yeah. From Detroit to here, when we came in 2017, there were, almost everybody on that flight was crabby and upset and didn't want to be there and rude.
You talking about the people working the flight?
Yes.
But
Almost
those
all
are
the
Americans
attendants.
then.
Yeah,
I
those
think
are
the
Americans.
one guy
I'm just saying that was
wasn't, but
that was
yeah.
It
Detroit
wasn't-
to Chicago.
But
That
it wasn't
was-
an American, or it
Was
wasn't
it
an
Detroit
Air
to Grand
Canada
Rapids?
flight.
Yeah.
It wasn't an Air Canada flight because
No.
they don't
No.
fly into Grand Rapids.
No, but
I,
It was,
I know why. Because don't nobody want to fly into Grand Rapids.
They don't
Oh,
fly
they
into
don't fly.
Detroit either, I don't think.
Nobody wants to go to Detroit.
No.
I mean,
No.
come on now. Detroit.
So-
No.
Yeah, there was that. I mean, the flight from Cairo to Frankfurt.
Okay, so
that
let's
was
go back
comfortable.
there. Let's talk about the Frankfurt. Go.
Okay, so on the flight from
Because y'all
Cairo,
just jumped over Frankfurt and all the other stuff.
because you told me to stop.
But you jumped over it.
The flight from Cairo to Frankfurt, they had beer and wine on the faux free. And now we had been in Egypt for almost 8 months, 0 alcohol.
0.
Even the beer that we got at the pyramids, I don't think was beer. Cause I
At the
didn't,
Marriott.
At the Marriott, because I didn't get it even in a little, not even a nothing. I think it was
Okay,
a
I
near
don't think
beer.
you're going to get anything.
And that's not true because when I had just a quarter of a cup of that beer and I was feeling it.
Yes, but you also were taking medicines.
So,
You had the thin blood.
and I was high in the
It
air.
was going straight to the dome.
But when he handed me an entire bottle of beer, I thought he was just going to pour me a little cup and hand me a little cup. I was like, really? I get the whole thing? I was so excited. He said, and you can have as many more as you want. And I was like, that is not a good idea. Like,
I don't know why not.
I could have
You
got
had a plenty
lit.
long. You had a long enough flight.
Right, it was like
what,
8.5
yeah.
hours.
Was it?
It was like 8 hours and 50 minutes. 8.5.
Frankfurt to where? It was-
Frankfurt to Toronto.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought
so
you were talking
that
about
made
Egypt
that
to
made
Frankfurt.
right. That made total sense. I mean, why not? You're
Wait, how long was the flight from Egypt to Frankfurt? Only 4
4
hours,
hours.
right? 4.5
Yeah.
hours?
No, 4 hours and 25 minutes.
There you go.
He remembers because
4:25. But yeah, the flight from Frankfurt
4:20
to
plus 5?
Toronto
No.
was.
Not 4.
I had the beer from Egypt to Frankfurt. I didn't have it from Frankfurt to Toronto.
I think Frankfurt to Toronto, somewhere in there, I had a wine. I don't
you
remember
had that Frankfurt to Toronto, but I had champagne at the gate
where. There's a picture out there.
in Germany.
I think I posted it on Instagram.
I really like that guy because he's like, do you want French champagne or German champagne? And I'm like, what's the difference? And he said, the price. And I'm like, give me the German one then.
Well, if
Give me the cheap shit.
And I think
Yeah.
the German one was stronger than the French stuff that I've ever had.
Because it was that rock gut.
Oh, Lord. I was tipsy. Like,
you imagine?
eyes crossing, kind
Bathroom.
of tipsy.
The bathroom brew from Germany.
bathroom
Jeez
champagne.
Louise.
Bathroom champagne.
I was all right sipping at the gate at 8 o'clock in the morning.
She had half a champipple.
Phew. I drank that whole bottle, but I probably should not have. I was ready to tip to the side. Over a tiny little bottle. Such a lightweight.
Oh, that was very funny.
I was
But
so
then-
happy about
then-
it.
So we got, let's see, anything else? You had started to say about Frankfurt how there was no...
There's no German
There was
anywhere.
very little German in the airport where we were. It was almost exclusively in English, and there was a giant Winston smoking room,
smoking room.
which was interesting. But yeah, the amount of German on signs and stuff was minimal. I mean, almost nothing. Like you didn't need German to fly into there and do anything really.
Did you
did
notice-
anybody speak German? Like,
Yeah.
did you?
I'm
No.
overloud
I'm talking about like working there. Was
Yeah.
anybody?
Yeah. Because when I
But they
went
were all
to go,
speaking English too, though, right?
Yes. When I went to go do the transfer thing, because there's a weird thing that we've never had to do before. We had to go to this transfer desk and show our passports and our COVID tests.
They
And
were
then
just checking him at every stop.
they were literally checking it, but then we showed them again before we got on the plane. It was just.
I think they were just checking. It's like
Like
it's
15 times.
If you didn't get the test, they were going to catch you.
Oh yeah, there's no way you could have gotten on that plane without.
Right.
You
Right.
couldn't have gotten far anyway.
Right. So we
Uh,
got on the plane out of Frankfurt. We waited there for a little while. We were there pretty early.
We got there at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
and we left at 10. We had like a 5-hour layover.
Understand that we left Egypt at
1
1
a.m.
Yeah, 1 in the morning. So
Which is not unusual for us because when we traveled to and from Thailand, it was always in the middle of the night.
yeah,
I kind of prefer it that way.
I don't. It throws off the sleep real bad. And then you get on a plane because you notice that the flight out of Frankfurt was in the daytime, but they had all the windows closed, and it was
So that we
like
could
we were
sleep.
all. It literally felt like night inside the plane. The
I don't
whole time.
remember leaving Frankfurt. I don't remember taking off from Frankfurt, so I would have sleep all.
Oh, you haven't seen the pictures.
No.
Oh,
Oh God.
maybe
Please do not
that's
insert them
why. Insert here.
Yeah, there's pictures. I
I-
took pictures because you were
Here's
knocked out.
one.
Oh God, stop it.
Here's another.
Okay, you're gonna be you're the one that's gonna look bad unless you're gonna edit
Why?
this video.
Dude, there's a slide across the screen.
I know there's a slide
All you
across.
have to do is see where I say here.
You know, I can
then
give you this
have
portion
the
of
slide,
I can give you this portion of the video
then
and the
you
photos.
Slide it again.
I
Yeah,
told you,
yeah, you're
I
right.
was-
I could.
It's
I was
not that
tipped
hard.
to the side from the German champagne,
The shampoo,
so I
half a
don't.
shampoo.
I don't remember leaving the Germany.
So
I
we
was
went
knocked
from Frankfurt to Toronto.
Yep.
All right, go ahead. Tell them about Toronto.
So once we got into Toronto,
Everything changes in Toronto.
they have this thing that if you're re-entering the United States, you go through immigration there. They actually tell you this on the plane. They announce it several times in English and in French that you are going to go through immigration here. So when you arrive in the United States, you don't go through anything. We didn't think anything of it, and then we get off and we're getting ready to go do our transfer, and they look at our tickets, and there are 4 S's on our tickets. We never noticed, never thought anything of it. Apparently that's a random check. So we had to fill out paperwork when we arrived, give them to this lady. She looked at our tickets, she looked at our passport, she looked at our COVID tests, sends us down this hallway. Now we are subject to inspection. They take all of our bags.
But that inspection was for everybody.
No, it was not. It was only for Americans.
Well, no,
Or
only
anyone-
Americans were there.
Anyone who was going into the United States.
But no,
there
no, it was only Americans on that side.
No, there was a
I
couple
mean,
next to us.
only going into
Yeah,
America.
only going to the States.
Right, but that everybody went through that security check.
But not the like we did.
Right. It was the amount of scrutiny, but
Right.
everybody went through the check.
They made us turn on every single electronic device, which I had my laptop, and my laptop is broken, and it has not been plugged in since Mexico, so last June. And so they said if it doesn't turn on, they're keeping my laptop. I don't know why, because when we came through Toronto the first time, it wasn't a problem.
Funny thing is, I would have literally busted it open and taken out the hard drive. Right there, because I fixed it in my bag.
So, miraculously, the damn thing turned on.
So, Dell, whatever battery you put in there, while it swole up and broke the case,
Yeah.
it did hold a charge for a very long time.
For a year. So,
Not even Apple.
It's a
holds
battery
charge
on
like that.
swole.
right? So we had to take off our shoes, we had to take off our jackets, Aaron had a long sleeve shirt on over his t-shirt, he had to take that off.
At some point, I think I took off my skin.
They wanted everything off, like
They had to
get
check our
patted
muscle
down and
tissue, swab our bones.
jeez Louise, it was
Cavity
crazy.
search.
Yeah.
And you had to have like a separate cavity search. You had to have a separate tub
that's
for
the bend over
every
and
item.
cough
Yes,
thing, right?
I know.
So your shoes had to be in one tub, and your devices had to be in one tub, and it was just ridiculous. But also, they kept saying no water past this point, and we had just gotten bottles of water handed to us as we're leaving the plane, and now we're going through the next thing, and they're like, no water. I'm like, but you just gave us the damn water, and now we can't have it,
That problem seemed to be like way too often. It's like, guys, just talk to your people over there.
Right,
But they're not the same people.
I know, but if you're not going to allow the thing, then don't let them give us the thing.
But they can't stop them. They're the airline, and the other people were the security. It's
So
not
anyway,
the same group.
they're doing all this scrutiny. We get back here a couple of days after we're here, and I go to get something from my backpack, and there is a full 20-ounce bottle of water in my backpack that was opened.
She smuggled it.
That they never saw. And I didn't know it was in there.
You smuggled clear water.
Right? So anyway,
That's why people have to take off their shoes today.
That
they-
might be a thing in the
they
future.
clear all of our luggage.
Yeah,
We
10
put everything back together. And then we go, and they're like, okay, go down to this place. And we go to immigration, and we're showing our passports. And I'm thinking everything is fine. And the man has Aaron's passport. And I said, do you have your passport? And he's like, no, he has it. And the man says, okay, come with me. And takes Aaron. Too. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So they're like, oh, just come in here and have a seat. We're going to talk to him for a minute. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You're going to talk to my teenage son about what?
Not a teenager.
You are my teenage son.
Not a teenager.
He might be teenaged, but he's an adult.
I don't
And
care.
that's
He's
why
still
they
a
could-
teenager.
No, that's why he can take him. Because he's not a teenager. He is an adult. And that's why they couldn't take Keegan without
'cause-
an adult,
Right.
I think.
So, I don't know. 'Cause
17, kind of close.
Maybe.
Getting there.
So anyway, they keep Aaron's passport, and they go into the office and have him sit down with us. And Aaron,
Not with us.
he will sit with us for a minute, for a few minutes, because he sat down and he looks at me and he says, so what do I tell them? And now I'm thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. They can see on the camera that we're talking to each other. I'm sure they can hear us. And I said, you tell them the truth. You tell them what we're doing. We're going back. Tell them where we've been. Tell them why we've been. Just tell them the truth. So then they separate Aaron and put him in a room, and then the guy comes and asks us questions. Where are you going? What have you been doing? Why were you there? How long were you there? Blah, 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 blah. So then he goes in to verify with Aaron. And he comes out, and the whole time Aaron is in there, what was it, like 15, 20 minutes?
No idea.
It felt like an eternity. And
It did.
I was so afraid, like, our children have been exposed to a lot of stuff, but they're also extremely sheltered people.
Naive
They're very naive. And
to the ways of the world.
it was just it was terrifying. I couldn't even process, like, what am I going to do if they try to keep my child? Am I going to act a fool?
That would be a bad idea.
Right?
Yeah, it would.
Am I going to just call a lawyer? I don't know who to call. What do I do? So, because you can't call the
Well, I
U.S.
don't
Embassy.
think-
It's the U.S. that's got him.
I don't think in that situation, I don't think they would have taken one person. They would have just
Taken
kept
all four
of
of
us
us.
would have been held. 'Cause
Right.
They had already pulled our luggage.
Right. We go out to say that we're cleared, and they had all of our luggage.
Well,
all
they
10
had three.
pieces.
No, they had like 3 pieces
They
up
did
there.
not.
But up there, because they only had 3. They asked me. They said you only checked 3 bags. And
Oh,
I
yeah,
said,
we said no, 10, and then-
we have 10 bags. And he looked around and he was like, "Well, we only have 3 of them up
But
here."
I pulled out the stickers, and he's like, oh, let me just scan these to make sure that you don't have any problems anywhere else.
Yeah, but that was the thing. The guy that, that knew that bags had been pulled, he was totally off because they only had 3 of them there, and I could see them, and I showed him that one, and that one over there. Those are the only bags you have up here, but we have 10.
When we arrived in Chicago, our bags were the first. All 10 of them were the first ones off.
That means they were the last ones on.
Yep, they were the first ones off on the conveyor.
Which was good.
Right, because it made it really fast. But there weren't many people that got luggage. There were like 4 of us. There were us, and then there were like 4 other people.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know.
It was really weird.
Maybe
but
a
that
lot of
plane
people-
was full.
But a Toronto to Chicago flight, if you weren't there very long, you may have only had a carry-on.
Well, and I think somebody on the flight said that they were going on to like Dallas or
right.
something.
And there's that too. So they had no reason to be. We see people like that all the time. They're the ones that they're stopping there, but we're always walking, transiting through.
Right.
So
Yeah.
all right,
it's just-
so we make it all the way back to
Wait.
Chi-Town.
Yeah, we get to Chi-Town.
And it is super hot.
Oh my god, it was so cold and it was raining. Now listen, before we had to arrange.
What happened?
We had to arrange
It was-
transportation from Chicago to Grand Rapids. And initially I thought, oh, we'll just fly. The flights aren't really expensive. It's probably cheaper to fly. Then I go and check it, and you have to pay for every bag, including your backpack and your carry-on and blah, blah, blah. So it was going to be $1,400 to fly for 54 minutes from Chicago to Grand Rapids.
This
and
is
then
the worst place to fly into.
we would have to get 2 Ubers minimum to get from the airport to the house, but we wouldn't have any cell phone service or any internet service, so how would we get the Uber? So,
That's why you have the Metro cab thing. We did that last time.
yeah,
We just needed 2.
right, but
They always go out to the airport.
how do we know they're going to be there?
No, they're always there.
So anyway,
Not a big deal.
um,
And people can call people. They call their friend.
how if you don't have any cell
Because
service? We had it when
not,
we first.
we wouldn't
Oh.
have to call anybody. Somebody
Oh,
else
yeah.
is there that you just,
So anyway, I was like, oh, we'll just rent a car. Well, I forgot that it was a holiday weekend, that we
Memorial
were
Day.
arriving on holiday weekend, and there were 0 cars available.
0.
So I was like, well, maybe we'll just get a U-Haul. Got a lot of luggage. We're desperate. Let's try this. So no
A lot
U-Hauls.
of luggage. We desperate.
No U-Hauls. Nothing. Somebody even suggested we call Home Depot. I'm like, you think Home Depot delivers a moving truck to the airport? They're like, yeah, probably not. So I ended up,
Where does Home Depot have moving trucks?
they have them.
Moving trucks?
I guess. That's what I was told. They have them.
Like U-Hauls.
I guess. That's what I was told.
I don't know
Anyway.
about the moving truck.
I thought, what would
Well,
we
the
do?
other side of it was we were told to ship our bags
Yeah. Like a
Greyhound.
freight carrier. Oh, yeah.
via Greyhound. Ship the bags via
Oh,
Greyhound.
no, we couldn't afford that.
So keep going.
We were told, we thought about taking a train, but because Grand Rapids doesn't have anybody that actually works at the train station, you can't check bags, so you're only allowed a carry-on bag.
Gotta love the raggedy.
Also, we couldn't take
How do you not have people working at the train station?
we couldn't have the Greyhound because we had too many bags. You could only have 1 carry-on and 1 check bag per person. And then you paid for those as well.
So,
And I couldn't do 6 hours on a bus.
So
I thought,
what
well,
do we do?
What would we do in any other place? I would hire a car service. And so that's what I did. I hired a car service. and they picked us up in a stretch limousine.
Long stretch
And
limo.
they had an SUV, a Suburban, for our luggage. And we rode back in a limo. Because it was cheaper.
Which we really didn't need the limo. We just needed
A comfortable car, like an SUV would have been fine.
like a Suburban, essentially.
But
Just to ride back
it
in.
was cheaper.
But we could have gotten in the Suburban with our luggage.
Probably, yeah.
No, we could have. Remember, that's how we left Mexico.
Oh,
that was
yeah,
a Suburban.
We sure did.
And we had more luggage.
We did, because we left suitcases this time.
So we could have just taken the Suburban and been fine and had plenty of space.
But
we had to have that stretch.
it was still
But it didn't even matter that we had stretch, because what did we do all the way back?
sleep. We slept.
It's like you didn't even get to enjoy the fact that you were.
Till you woke up to pee.
Listen,
Right.
I enjoyed because I was literally
Apparently, I was
stretched
not
out.
down the hall from the bathroom.
What?
He woke up thinking he was just down the hall
Yeah,
from
like
the
I
bathroom.
could just get up and go, and it was like, oh no.
Yeah, that would.
How do I get that guy's attention? I started hitting buttons and nothing worked, and oh man. Because when you wake up and you gotta go, there is no waiting. There is no wait till the next exit. There's pull over.
He got out. He got off there pretty quick.
Now, he didn't get off quick enough. It was almost an issue. Because baby bladder.
Yeah, I stretched out on the seat. My feet didn't even touch the end. Because I'm a
That's because you're 2 feet tall.
a mini. But it was still cheaper than flying or any of the other modes of transportation.
Yep.
So if you're ever
Unless we
thinking
flew
about
by Giant Eagle,
Really.
that wouldn't
Really?
cost you anything.
it was cold and rainy though.
Anyway. So
never rule out hiring a
well,
driver.
and honestly, if maybe it's a business we should start. I'm all into the starting a business. Yeah, because so many people, if they had an alternative to flying from Detroit to Grand Rapids or from Chicago to Grand Rapids, or even from Lansing to Grand Rapids, which I've done before,
I've never flown into Lansing before,
I have. So it's
or Muskegon.
Actually, I think I flew in. I can't remember. Anyway, usually in big cities, they have shuttle services that do drive for the next. They'll take you the last 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And why not? If you had that as an alternative to flying, and flying is expensive, especially if you got a bunch of luggage or whatever.
Yep. It was like $169 per person, and then you had to pay for the first bag. It was $35, and then the next bag it was $45.
And this was our first international trip
Ever.
where we had the exact luggage we were supposed to have.
We
like
didn't pay
moving.
We didn't pay any overweight fee, and we
None.
didn't pay any extra luggage fee.
None. We all had basically 2 bags and our carry-ons, which we've never done that.
Ever in 10 years' time.
So, all right. So that was the trip back. Then, of course, we get back and it's fighting with time
Jet
change,
lag.
and jet lag.
We traveled for 31 hours. But if you look at we left at 1 a.m. on the 27th, and we arrived at 9 p.m. on the 27th. It doesn't look like we traveled that long, but we did.
Traveled a whole day.
We traveled more than a whole day.
Right, a day and a
Day
half.
is only 24 hours.
Yep,
Ooh,
31 hours total.
It was a serious move there. All right. Any other thoughts about the trip escape from Egypt? Which is
I
funny
was
because
so
that's
happy.
exactly how I felt.
I almost cried. I was so happy to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, just to get on the first flight was just like. Okay,
As soon as the
this-
wheels up,
You know what? I was actually just really happy with the paying of the
the 2000.
overage fee.
Yeah.
Because we expected way more. I was real. After that, I was like, that's it. We're done. We're out. Because
Right.
once
Once
you
you
do
pay that,
that,
you're done.
You are done. and basically you're just waiting for the plane to pull up now.
As soon as those wheels up, I was like, I could
There is that.
exhale. Because getting the hell out of there. Woo-wee.
And in the limo, I had a Budweiser.
That,
One.
Look,
Whole
I don't.
Budweiser. It was plenty in there. He told me I could have as many as I wanted, but
Yeah, they kept telling us we could drink as much beer as we wanted, and I'm just looking at him like,
who are you talking about?
the guy in the plane told
No,
me
no,
that,
I'm
too.
talking about in the limo.
Yeah, I can't drink in the car.
I can drink in the car, but that means I'm going to have to go to the bathroom.
Which you did.
And he didn't charge us for the stop, did he?
No.
You had said that they would charge us for every time that they stopped.
I think because we paid a nice tip.
But I thought that was
It was part of it.
part of it.
I don't think that they cannot they cannot stop for a 3 or 4 hour drive. We were in the car for 4 hours. I mean, there has to be some.
Yeah, it took a
kind
long
of
time to
story.
get out of Chicago, I think. All I know is I fell asleep. We were in Chicago. When I woke up, we were in Michigan.
Me too.
Yup.
Me too.
And we weren't that far away.
No, we were what?
We weren't that far away.
Bangor?
Yeah. We weren't that far away.
That's where we stopped to go to the bathroom in Bangor. But I slept I felt like I slept a long time.
I
in
used
the
to
car.
ride down there just to do my Sunday ride thing.
Really?
Yeah, I used to ride down the small roads and work my way down that direction and then come back on the highway. Just to,
I've been there, but I don't remember why I was there.
I don't think I've ever really gone there for any real reason, but all right. So
I'm looking for the name of the beer that I had on the plane because that stuff was really good, and I want to get some.
Okay.
That's
Can't this be
stuff. You're gonna need to get some of that.
Warsteiner? Why? Why?
It's really good.
Whatever. You might not be able to find that here. Might have to go to the specialty import liquor place. All right. So
It's kind of chocolate.
that was our trip to get back here. We're back here in sunny Grand Raggedy. All right. Now I got some questions.
Okay, go for it.
Because Aaron was sitting in a seat on the flight, I think it was from Frankfurt to Toronto. He was sitting up there by himself.
Yeah.
And he had plenty of space. Okay, there was only him and one other person in the row. And there were,
Same with Keegan.
4 or 5 in that row or whatever?
4, I think there are 4 in each row.
I don't know, you weren't that close to them, were you?
I was 2 seats away.
That's what I'm saying. You had one seat on the other side of you. There was more than 4.
They were in the aisle.
Were they?
Yeah.
So there are 5 seats in the middle?
That's what I think. There was 5 seats then. And
The big
so I
plane.
asked him, I said, because you had said something about your legroom. And I was like, well, no one was in the row in front. And this is the row that there is no row in front of
Right.
it. Right? And I asked the lady if you could just move up one. Because no one was there and no one was getting on. She said no, because those seats cost more. And I'm thinking to myself,
And you notice nobody sat in them the whole time.
no one has bought those seats.
Right.
So what does it matter if someone sits in them now?
Yeah.
It's just like people in first class. It's like they're getting something different than
Right, their food is
other
different,
people.
their
Same thing
drinks
with
are
business
different.
class. They're getting something different. But these seats were not any different. It was just that there was just more leg room
Yeah.
on a long flight. Why not just let him move up? What did it matter?
Let me give you all a pro tip. Never buy basic economy flight or tickets. You get the worst seats. You get the worst service. Always do the economy plus.
I
or
really
the
want you to
economy
speak
plus.
up because I don't know why you think getting softer is
I didn't
more
know I was getting softer.
more what's the
Always
word?
get softer.
More epic. but it's not. It might be for little ones to scare the shit out of them, but it doesn't work for them, the people. You got to actually talk to the dead cat here.
Okay, don't buy the basic economy flights. Always do economy plus or economy flex or whatever the next level up is, because you get more leg room. You're usually the first to be able to move if the flight isn't full. You get different baggage. So if you go basic economy, you're going to end up paying for that second checked bag, or you're going to end up paying for your carry-on bag, something. There's always a difference. So spend that extra $40 or whatever it is per person and get the next level up. And never fly without insurance, ever. It's just not smart. The one time you do it is the one time you're going to need it.
But are you saying that domestic flights or
Every
international
flight.
flights? 'Cause
Every flight.
Internationally, I agree that's
Nope, every
kind of,
flight.
But I don't know if that's important for domestic flights,
is, because
you have
what if
different cancellation rules. You have different
But
stuff.
what if your flight is delayed, or you miss your flight, or whatever? What if you get injured in another state? A lot of times that travel insurance will cover your injury while you're...
Oh, you're talking about once you get to your destination.
Right. So that travel insurance, it might be $17 per person. It might be $30 per person. Spend it. You're going on a trip. Get it.
But yeah, it's worth it.
Because you never know what could happen. You're going to Cancun and, you might fall off the boat.
Get eaten by a shark.
I don't think you really ain't collecting the insurance then.
You might, if the shark just takes a leg.
Okay, then you don't get eaten now,
Well,
do
the
you?
person that's the
No, you
beneficiary-
actually are getting eaten.
You, as a whole, are not getting
I
eaten.
didn't
Just a
say
piece
it.
of you is getting eaten.
A piece of my love, a piece of my leg.
Always get the upgrade.
Yeah, I agree. All right, another thing. Air Canada. Why are the planes still half full? That's the flight that we did from Frankfurt to Toronto. It was essentially half full.
I think they
or
just don't
less.
have many people traveling because it's still really difficult to get into Germany.
But it really seemed like they had planned it. Because of the way the seating
I don't
was.
think so. When I booked the flights, it's because it's a Lufthansa flight from Cairo to Germany, and then it switches to Air Canada in Germany to go to Toronto. And we had to have, because we're Americans, we had to have special permission to transfer through Germany. And she couldn't book the ticket until Lufthansa got that permission and then sent it forward. So they're still locked down pretty much.
Well, to us.
Well, to a lot of the world. They have a long list apparently.
They got a list.
Yep.
My list is longer.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that was 1 through 9. Little bit of 15 because you jumped the gun over there.
Sorry about that.
A little too excitable.
It's that Unimind thing playing on.
It wasn't a Unimind thing.
Yeah.
I felt nothing. All right. What did you think about Egypt?
Think about Egypt? What did we think about
Nobody
Egypt?
can hear that,
They can see it though.
but they can't
But
hear
they
it.
can't hear it.
On
You
the
think this
podcast, the
video's
audio
seeing
podcast.
the day of light in this month?
The day of light. The light of day.
Yeah, it's
I
later.
said
day.
what I meant.
That's the problem. You didn't know what you said. Yeah.
No, I knew what I said.
Yeah.
What would Joey say? Va for Napoli. Egypt can choke on a satchel of Richards.
A satchel of Richards. Wow. That's a Karen way of saying a bag of dicks.
Yeah. Egypt can freeze its piss like a popsicle and eat it.
Nice. That's a good one.
Things don't freeze in Egypt.
They do if you have a freezer. They don't stay frozen though. The most
Unfortunately,
disappointing place I've ever been to.
Yeah, I don't have a good, not one. It's funny because the whole time you're there, people are always asking you, what do you think? And and all this, and you're trying not to really offend them.
Yeah.
Because you really don't want to say bad things about their country.
I don't have a problem with it.
But no, you kind of do
kinda do.
when they're your students or co-workers. You really don't want to offend people. You don't want people angry at you, making your life even more difficult. It's already difficult.
Right.
But as far as Egypt goes, I would never recommend it. Never. I'd never. I mean, I still tell people to go to China,
Oh, me too.
but I would never tell anyone to go to Egypt.
Nope.
I mean, go as a tourist, absolutely. Go as a tourist.
Go to
know,
live and work. Not a chance
if you're going
in hell.
to work at a non-Egyptian business, so the business is actually operated by somebody outside of Egypt, and then you're getting paid that money, not Egyptian money, and you're living in some gated neighborhood or community,
Yeah.
that's a little different. You're having a totally different experience.
We got the real deal.
But the real deal is not worth spit. I would not encourage anyone to go to Egypt for a job, for work, for anything. Love, don't do it.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't even do it. Don't even think about it. What else you got to say positive about Egypt? I wrote here, our real thoughts about Egypt, unfiltered, finally. What you got unfiltered?
I don't have any positive thoughts. I have zero.
No happy thoughts?
No, like the day before we left,
Happy thoughts?
one of my students reached out to me and she said, "Oh, I saw that Oman has a large need for teachers right now." And I said, "That's nice." And I said, "Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't do another Muslim country.
Egypt
I'm not-
pretty much destroyed that as well.
I'm not equipped for that. I can't bite my tongue that way. I can't deal with the mental mediocrity. I can't deal
the fragile
with
ass men.
right the
The lack of moral courage.
moral courage. Thank you, Menelec. Thank you too.
Definitely the fragile ass egos and
Yeah, I can't.
ridiculous rules about what you should and shouldn't do or can't do
you
with
gotta
work.
fight
and
to prove you a man.
I mean,
over a slice of bread.
that's literally a thing. Like, we watched somebody get punched in the face during Ramadan.
Who watched?
I didn't watch
Where?
anything.
You didn't film nothing.
I watched
You
it.
didn't
didn't see
share
it.
with the class.
It was during Ramadan. There was one of the vegetable guys down below.
I know they were fighting.
There was a fist fight. I think Daddy was in an interview at the time, and the guy's child got snatched up by the throat. And
I know, but what does this have to do with anything? People
they
fighting
fight
in
over,
Egypt are
fighting
fighting.
over a piece of bread. They were literally
I don't
fighting
think-
over a piece of fruit.
How do you know that?
That's what Mai was saying to me. "Oh, did you see the fight?" I said, "Yes." "Oh, they were fighting over a piece of fruit." Now,
Which I doubt.
It could have been just nonsense.
I doubt they were
Because-
fighting over a piece of fruit. That sounds stupid. I mean, even for Egyptian people, that sounds stupid.
Well, the one student we had that you didn't care for, he got into it with somebody because the guy honked his horn while he was getting in the car. Like, they're out on the street ready to come to blows over him honking his horn.
No, I don't. I think it's all
Just machismo.
yeah, it's
nonsense.
what we saw in Mexico.
Except for I didn't see it like that in Mexico. I mean,
Men
I
trying
know.
to be more than no. You just heard about all the men killing women in
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I got nothing for Egypt.
I got no love.
Got literally no love, and it's sad because it's Islamic culture sitting on top of an awesome ancient past that we really want to see.
Right.
But I can't get past the you know.
Well, they don't know anything about their ancient past
I know,
anyway,
but
so
we do.
we do.
And we want to see it. We want to go there. But we have to go through them to
Yeah.
get there, and
Yeah.
that makes it really negative.
Yeah.
Like it's like if somebody said right now you can go to Luxor and Aswan and you can go
To Alexandria
to
and
all the
Heliopolis
really nice place, the historical ancient ruins and places, and you going back right now? Let's go. Chop chop. No, hell no. You don't want to deal with. You know that as soon as you come in, you're going to be dealing with Muslim people that are Egyptian.
Here's the worst part, though.
And you don't want to do it.
I have zero problem with Muslim.
No, I don't think that's true. I
have-
think you just found out that you do have problems. I think that's what you just learned. That was the lesson.
I didn't know I was a feminist until Egypt.
Okay, that just means you don't know yourself. I did.
I didn't.
Oh man, please. What you thought you were? What? What did you think you were? At the very least, you were American, and
I
that's
thought I
going
was
to
a
be
liberal
definitely be
conservative.
far more liberal in your outlook and thinking than an
Yeah.
Egyptian person is.
That's true. But geez, oh Pete's.
All right. What about your thoughts about the English clinic?
I wrote a review online and suggested they close their doors because the man is not fit to teach nor run a business, and he misrepresents himself as a doctor of English.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Indicating
I have
that he has education that he does
doesn't
not have. He's a liar. He's a scam artist.
Yeah, no, I think he's a salesman. And this is why I don't like salesmen all that much. I recognize the need for salesmen, but I don't really like them because basically salesmen are always dealing in spin. And they're always putting a positive spin on everything, especially the thing they're trying to sell. No matter how bad it may be or how good it may be, the spin is always there. And he was effective at selling his business enough that we went, which means he convinced us that he, as a salesman, he did a good job.
He's a great salesman. He's a terrible teacher.
But
He's
as
a
far as a
terrible
business owner, one of the reasons why I didn't have a job by the 15th of May was because he couldn't afford to pay me.
Because he wasn't charging enough for his services.
And I don't think, of course he didn't tell his students that. But that's the reason. He basically said in an email that he couldn't afford to pay me anymore. So that's why, I wasn't going to be employed after the 15th of May.
But please, work like a Hebrew slave until the 15th.
See, I don't get that either because he started making... Then this is why I left at the beginning of May, because he started saying things like my pay would be contingent on finishing some things that I was already working on, which was hilarious, because if he did not said anything, I probably would have got it done.
Yep.
Just because I wanted to get it done. And I had gotten, I think I was halfway, the piece that he was asking me to do, which was creating his curriculum, I was actually more than halfway done, which means I didn't have that much to go, and I could have gotten it all done in the next 15 days with no problem, and because he made it seem like you're not going to get your last pay because these things aren't done yet at the beginning of the month, then it was like, wait a minute, we never even talked about when they needed to be done. He wanted me to do curriculum for classes that didn't even exist.
He was just trying to get more things for free out of you.
Right. It was like, why are you trying to make me get something done? You don't even have classes anywhere near this level yet, and you don't have anybody to teach those levels.
He didn't have teachers that could teach the levels we taught.
Right. So it was like, you're kind of, you're making it seem like I'm going to do all this work and get to the end and not have it all done, and then you're going to try to withhold money from me? Once he made that distinction, it was like, okay, I'm leaving now.
Right.
I'm not doing any more because that doesn't make any sense. If that's how you run your business, then I'm out, And I don't think he never understood that. He never understood that that's what he was doing. But I think that also comes down to, like I've said before, is he didn't understand English.
Right.
And he's got all these people thinking that he understands English, and he doesn't. So when I would talk to him, he would always act like I didn't understand him. And I was like, no, you're not even speaking the English correctly. So then you're not understanding the words that you're saying. And so that became an issue. And why I was like, yeah, no way. No way you're going to try to take advantage of me in that way, that I'm going to, do a bunch of work and then still not get paid? Oh, hell no. You're out of your mind. You were already, from the moment we got there, he was threatening to take our pay.
Literally, the moment we arrived.
Our first meeting was we might have to take less pay. It's like, what? We traveled all the way to Egypt for you to say that we're not going to get paid what you said we were going to get paid.
And
Now we did get paid what everything that he said we should get paid, but he was always threatening like we weren't. And that's a terrible way to do business, because if you think that's going to give you loyalty amongst your staff, you're out of your mind if they're always thinking that you're going to take their pay. But apparently, he was taking their pay. It just wasn't us.
Because he was afraid of me.
I don't know if that's the case. I think the idea was for him to keep his business afloat, he was paying us, and he was not paying the other teachers their full amounts.
Wow.
Because they were asking me, did you get all your pay? And I'd be like, yeah, I got all my pay. But then they wouldn't say anything else after that. Which means they probably didn't get all their pay all the months that we were there. Every month. But keep in mind, these are also people that are, none of them, two of them were married?
Two of them were married.
But essentially, they were, living at home. They didn't have the kind of bills, the kind of stuff they were working for money, and they should have been compensated for the job that they did, because you get paid at the end of the month. So that means you already did the work, which means you should get paid your full amount. If you're not going to get paid the full amount, then you should have had days off somewhere in that month.
Yep, that's what I was saying when he was like, "Oh, we're going to take 50% of your pay." I'm like, "I'm not working full time then."
Right. Then you're going to if you're going to take 50%, then I'm going to work 50% of the time.
That's exactly what I told him.
So, yeah, please do not waste your time going to that company anytime.
Ever. Not as a student, not as an
yeah,
employer.
I feel sorry for the students.
Employee.
I knew it when we were there, but they're being sold something, and I think I did tell some of the students, it's like, if this is what you think you're getting here, this is not what you're getting here. You need to either go somewhere else, or you need to have a different kind of lesson. Like, you shouldn't be in these classes because you don't want this. Like, he was taking people that wanted like IELTS or test prep, and then he was putting them in his classes, but none of his classes prepared students for IELTS or test prep. So it's like, you can't take a person that can do IELTS and put them in ESL, a basic ESL class, and tell them that their grammar is bad and that's why you put them there. It's like, no. You're just now you're showing your colors. You're just trying to get money out of them and keeping them there for the long haul.
Right.
When you're not preparing them for any of the stuff that they need, and you can't teach it to them.
Well, there was a day where there was a new class starting, and they were next door to mine, and a student came in, and she's chatting away with me, and I looked at her and I said, "Which level are you starting?" And she said, "I'm starting level 1. Level 1 students couldn't speak to me, let alone have a full-blown conversation, asking me all kinds of in-depth questions and responding in kind. There's no way she should have been in level 1. And when I questioned, why is this student there? She should be in my level 7 class. Mm-hmm. Because she has more information than a lot of my students in level 7. They didn't want to move her.
Right. Well, because they wanted to sell a package that was, somewhere between 4 and 8 classes, and keep them there as long as possible. But then they get to the end of that, and they still are saying, I can't speak English very well. It's like, yeah, but you were in the wrong place. You haven't gone past what you already knew. So your English was never going to improve in that track. But he didn't want to hear that, and when the other teachers started saying that, he didn't want to hear them either.
Right.
But because they were Egyptian, they didn't say it anymore. Yep. Whereas I kept saying it.
And I said it.
And it was like, this person shouldn't be here. Like, you've got a person that wants to do IELTS none of your classes address this, guess what? They need private, but you can't charge them that much money to do private lessons for IELTS test prep, and you have nothing for IELTS test prep, and none of your teachers can teach this.
The worst part was, though, he had the IELTS curriculum.
Yeah, but they
in
didn't
the
understand
cabinet,
it.
But none of them could teach it.
Right, they didn't understand it. Just having a Barron's book sitting on the shelf doesn't mean that you understand how to prepare a student to take that test.
Absolutely not. And I had several students who were preparing to immigrate to Canada.
Right.
And they wanted to get better with their grammar. They wanted, and I said,
Yeah,
you
but
don't
they always
need
focus.
grammar.
They keep focusing on grammar, but that's because that's the way their
Yeah.
system teaches language, teaches English.
I had to tell this lady, listen, you don't need grammar. You need to be able to speak. You need to be able to answer questions. You need to be able to read and comprehend.
All right, you got anything else about this quote unquote semi place of business? Which, if that's business in Egypt, I know why Egypt is the way it is.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah. Satchel.
You got nothing else?
Richards. Choke on a satchel of Richards.
All right, what about real thoughts about adult Egyptian students? You got anything for that?
Grow the
Can we stop
fuck
talking about Egypt,
up.
please?
No, man, that's why we're here. This is the first episode after post-Egypt.
Grow up.
Don't worry, we're getting there.
You're grown people.
I got more.
Yes, but isn't that a problem of the culture, not necessarily the student?
No.
Well, the student is
Being
part of
as-
the culture.
Right, but you're saying grow up. You're talking to the entire culture to grow up because you got 30-year-old people living with their parents talking about I need permission to be out this late.
But they have to. That's the culture.
Right. So you're telling the entire culture to grow up.
I'm not saying
the
anything about
students.
their permission from their parents. But I'm saying that if you have class at 3 o'clock, that doesn't mean you wake up at 1. Why are you getting up
Why
at
not?
1 o'clock in
But
the
you got
afternoon?
nothing else to do.
You're
Why
30
can't you?
years old.
Why can't you wake up at 1?
What? Why
If
aren't
you
you
have
doing
nothing else,
something else?
Well, but if you have nothing else to do, why can't you wake up at 1? You have nothing else to do.
Find something to do.
I'm
Shit.
saying find something to do, but I'm saying
Jeez
if you have
Louise.
nothing to do, why would you get up earlier? Now I do see that while
You can't. They are
while
studying.
while they're doing a lot of, it's like they're very busy, but they're also very lazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get both of those things at the same time, but it does seem like they were, like some people were crazy busy, and other people were, like even when you watch them do the job and be at work, they were super lazy, like they never really worked. You're waiting for them to do some work.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you'd see them sitting there and they'd be talking or eating or drinking coffee or doing something else or chatting with
But
each other,
never,
but they're
ever
never
working.
working.
And then want to chastise you for
Working.
doing a thing that you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you're sitting there working and they're saying, why aren't you down here talking to us? It's like, but
My job is to be in here talking with them. They're
Yeah.
the students.
It's like, why would I be down here talking to you? Like, why would I be at the water cooler all day when I have students in the classroom? But the other teachers were doing that. And they were talking to the front desk staff or whatever. It's something in the culture of work in Egypt. I don't understand it.
It's
Anything
the
else about
lying and
students?
Conniving stuff. Ugh.
Yeah, that
The
was 15.
cheating.
Egyptians acting as if they're trustworthy and they don't lie.
When I caught one of the secretaries in a lie.
Okay, I'm not talking about one person.
No,
I'm
I
talking
caught,
about a
but
culture of people.
You catch them in the lie. You can look at them and say, "You're lying. I know you're lying." And no.
Yeah. I think the problem that Egyptians have when it comes to that is they don't want to be called out
That's
on
nice.
anything negative. So if they did something well, you can say that they did it well. If they didn't do something well, you're not supposed to say anything because it might hurt their feelings. That's literally what I was told. So it was like, okay,
I don't like this whole feelings thing.
I don't either.
Nothing productive has come from not wanting to hurt someone's feelings.
Well, you don't hurt their feelings, if you want to call that productive.
That's not. You didn't make progress. You just made them happy.
Well, productive and progress are not the same thing.
make progress. You have
make
to
'em think.
Be productive.
Make
don't
them
you?
think. No, you can be productive and go nowhere.
But
You
how
can
is-
get lots of things done and have no progress.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll have some more thoughts about Egyptian students after it sinks
No,
out.
you won't.
Oh, we might have more thoughts.
No.
I might have more thoughts.
Then save that for your vlog.
Now, man, I'm bringing it up here for the people. All the people.
All right, what's next?
I kind of want to switch gears to a what you're watching thing. Because now we could watch stuff.
What you watching, too?
What?
What you watching?
Are you watching something?
Yeah, there's a thing he's watching in the evenings now.
What is it?
Mommy and I are watching Golden Girls.
Oh, boy. Rue McClanahan? Really?
It's hilarious, isn't it?
Arsenio Hall's girlfriend on there? Eh, eh.
He dated Blanche.
I don't think he really did. I think he might hate it, though. Looking at you, Arsenio. I want that story.
Bring back the show just for that
A
story.
little Rue McClanahan. Huh?
Oh, Arsenio or the Golden Girls?
No, I want Arsenio to tell the story about what happened with the Rue and what happened with, who was the other one? The dancer. Janet Jackson's Control. She did Janet Jackson's Control.
Oh, Paula Dean.
Paul
Oh,
Abdul.
Paula
Paul
Dean.
Dean.
Paula Dean.
Paula Dean is
Not
old.
Paula Dean.
A Southern white woman.
Hey,
Not
so
Paula
was
Dean.
Rue McClanahan.
Yeah, well, not Paula Dean. My brain was on a different track, but still in theme.
Oh, Paula Dean.
Could
Arsenio,
you could you
why
imagine-
didn't you tell us?
You gotta
Could you
say for all
imagine
white women.
If Paula Dean
Southern
choreographed Control.
And dated Arsenio Hall?
Oh man, that'd be funny.
Didn't he have a thing with Paul Abdul for a minute?
I have no idea.
I remember something about that, but it might have been,
Drummer.
Hollywood bullshit. But
we have the Disney Plus now, and the Hulu.
And
the ESPN Plus.
We have the Disney. They got a lot of Disney.
So now I can
We watched Soul.
we can continue Bad Batch.
I don't think you can count watching Soul on that crappy TV watching it, because that TV is so bad it cuts off half of the screen.
No, it's squeezed.
No, some things aren't squeezed enough.
Well,
I don't care. I watched the movie.
No,
you can always watch it
think-
on your
I think
computer,
that's
your
what,
iPad.
because I watched it and I liked the movie, even though
okay.
even though
Okay.
the story didn't really go any place. I liked it. I liked the music. I liked
Spoiler
the
light
animation.
is now on. The spoiler light is on.
I like the music and the animation, even though the story didn't really go anywhere.
It was meh.
I think the problem is what we identified after you watched it. Was
There
that
were no
there were no
feels.
feels.
And I like to feel. I like the cries.
No, well, see, it's the Pixar movie. The Pixar movies all have feels. I mean, even the freaking you guys have seen the original, the little light, the desk lamp thing.
I don't think I've seen
The
that.
desk lamp thing has feels, and there's no
It's-
face.
yeah, that's on.
and there's no.
That's on Disney Plus.
But I'm saying there's
That
no
original.
nothing
I
but
haven't
this
seen it.
thing just moving. That's all you're getting.
Hmm.
And there's definite story and feelings going on with that more so than was in Soul. And how can you have a movie called Soul with no feelings?
Because it was about souls.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It should have had.
It
It's like it took you.
had soul.
It should have brought you up to that. It brought you up to that moment, and then it just left it, and it just.
Yeah.
It was literally like letting the air out of the balloon.
Yeah.
It just fizzled out, and was just like, I wanted to really like it. I mean, it's about jazz. It had Jamie Foxx. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
what? You're putting together the
Following
things that
your
you very much.
dreams and
But it didn't. They missed the mark, and they shouldn't have missed the mark. But
it was meh.
I don't know why they did.
Even your mom said the same thing, and it was just me.
It really was. It really was. I've been watching 1971. No, I've watched all of 1971 now. If you've got that Apple TV Plus, check out the 1971 thing. It's really good, especially if you want a bit of a music history. But it's only 1 year, and it's like, whoa, 1 year. In what came out and what happened in the music that year.
Hey, Apple. Your devices, they're great. Your interface on Apple TV Plus sucks.
Yeah, they got the worst
Fix
out
it.
of everybody. Well, no, wait. Is it worse than Amazon Prime?
I
Yes.
don't know. They're neck and neck for me.
Okay, look.
They're pretty bad.
I watched, if I'm on Apple TV, I'm only watching the British stuff. I don't watch anything else.
You're skipping around. You're skipping
But
right to what you want. You're not looking around.
Sometimes, for example, This Country Life, or This Farm Life is one of my favorite shows.
Farmville?
Not Farmville, This Farm Life. And so there was I had watched the entire series, all the episodes, all the years, whatever, and I got to the most recent one, and I went to watch it, and I couldn't watch it through Apple TV. I couldn't watch it through my BritBox. It had to go through Amazon Prime, which is weird, because it's a BritBox show. Why am I having to watch it in Amazon Prime? And because I was in Egypt, I couldn't watch it without a VPN. And then the next episode came out, and I went to watch it, and it, boom, right to my BritBox, no problem. What the hell? Right now, I'm watching Escape to the Country.
Again?
They've got more episodes.
Oh.
I had watched all the ones before, and now I'm watching from 2019 forward.
Speaking of new episodes, Lucifer came back to Netflix.
I started watching Lucifer.
I'm
It's a
excited
good
I
show.
can watch
It's a fun show.
the Bake Off now that we're back.
Yes, you are excited. That is a true statement right now.
Because couldn't get it outside of the country.
Because, oh boy, the excitement. Like, oh my.
The dog whistle squeal.
Man.
What are you talking about, dog
Huh?
whistle squeal?
I think you just did it.
The who?
I don't
What are
have
you
a
talking
dog whistle squeal.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For All Mankind, Season 2. I was able to jump back into that. I haven't finished Season 2 yet. But it's still good.
What
I
is
still
the
like
animal
Farm Out.
program you're watching?
Hostile Planet on Disney Plus, hosted by Bear Grylls.
You can't do that.
I can't do what?
You know what? You can't do that.
What?
Try to change the names and make them sound funny. You don't do it. You don't do it like Ren does it. No.
What? You don't like
You know.
Bear Grylls?
Yeah, like I said, that ain't you. So that's what we've been watching.
What's wrong with Bear
How
Grylls?
about we skip your book club this
That's
week?
fine, because I was reading before you said come to the thing. Because I haven't finished a book since we've arrived.
Can we move it to next week?
Sure.
I was gonna do some stats, but I think I'll do the stats next week too.
Yeah, because we went on about Egypt far too long.
And I did want to mention May 20th was Global Accessibility Awareness Day.
What is
So I have
that?
a Global Accessibility Awareness Day. And this is digital accessibility.
Okay.
So, like making it so that people with disabilities can get to content.
Oh.
Um,
Oh, okay.
and so my question was, what are we doing to be more digitally accessible?
I don't
And
know.
are
'cause
we
I don't-
even thinking about it?
No, because you brought that up one day, and I don't even know how. I don't even know how I could make anything I'm doing accessible to everyone.
Well, I can give you an example of how you could do it.
Like my art, I can't
Your
make
art.
my art accessible to
yes,
a blind person.
yes, you can. You
How?
absolutely can. You have to write it in words what it is. You have to give the details of what you did in words. Now, you could do that audio, recording it. You can do that written, and then they can do text-to-speech software on what you wrote. So that becomes more accessible. I know on the Pinterest, you know I don't like the Pinterest, but on the Pinterest, it has at the bottom of the thing when you post to give details about the thing, so that then people that are using Pinterest in other ways can get the information. So like you give if you have a photo or you have a piece of art, you could actually give a written description that then they can access. So, because a lot of times what happens with people that are blind, they're able to read the internet either through the machine, which I don't know if they still use, but I would think that it would be no reason for it to go away. But the machine does the braille and it moves across, and then they just leave their fingers there, and that allows them to read the website.
Well,
But they could also now, because of text to speech, you could just have the website read to you just like the
if you're on your
iDevices
phone.
I don't know if that machine is still out there.
There's a YouTuber who's blind who she talks about this. She can text because she feels the vibrations based on each letter.
Mm-hmm.
And when she gets the text back, it's a text-to-speech thing.
Mm-hmm.
It reads it to her.
Right.
But this was years ago. She was talking about this with
And
Apple.
in our Apple devices, accessibility features are built in.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, what should we be doing to become more accessible to people that are consuming what we're doing in ways that are different? You're dealing in visual medium. How do you bring that to life for them? You know, something to think about. I don't know how we do it, but apparently it's Global Accessibility Awareness Day on May 20th. I'm thinking that we're going to have to start paying attention to the special days, the awareness days. Apparently there's a lot of those. I mean, a ridiculous amount. I have bookmarked them. So we can, we'll know when it's Dog Day or Fat Chubby Child Day or whatever, you know. I think that's it. That's all I got.
Fat Chicken Day.
Fat Chicken Day. Vegan Chicken Day.
I saw somebody on your Twitter.
On my Twitter?
On your Twitter, they had commented on a photo.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I got a comment.
And they're black travelers. And so I went and checked out their Twitter. Saw some of their videos. One was talking about he wasn't vegan, but he was going to try this vegan fried chicken and see what it was like. And he was all about it.
It's delicioso, man. Today, honestly, even the stuff that we got, if you're not vegan, you could definitely be full.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a cooked dish.
Yeah.
You could definitely be full.
Yeah.
And full in a good way, because it's essentially more healthy for you, but you could definitely be full.
What's the problem with salt?
No, some of those things don't have a lot of salt. It depends.
It depends on the brand.
The Beyond Meat does have a lot of salt, but the
Impossible
and oil
one
too, right?
Yeah.
But
some of them.
the like that chicken stuff that we got, that didn't have hardly anything in
Nope.
it. It was like almost like tofu, but it had a texture.
Right. And a smell. Like
I didn't smell it.
when it was cooking it.
Oh.
Or warming, not cooking because it's already cooked.
So yeah,
I just seasoned it and warmed it. And
you got anything else for the people?
I finally got my guitar.
Oh, that's just big news, man.
I finally got a guitar, and I'm slowly learning how to play it.
you got
He's
something
playing.
else this week
Down,
too.
down, 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 down.
What else did you get this
difficult.
week? The same day. It's your first one.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh yeah, I got a job
Huh? When do you start?
tomorrow.
That's right. You better be happy, man. I don't know what you
You're making more than I am, so
making more than me.
You're not working.
You're highly qualified.
I don't know about highly, but
you're making more than most folks.
I'm working on the new business. You want to tell them about your job?
I'm going to be an infant toddler lead coordinator. And I don't know how my body's going to handle this, but I'm going to give it a go.
You should coordinate.
You better handle it,
not-
that's for sure.
I'm
Right.
going to be teaching 2-year-olds.
But you should
And-
coordinate and not.
Are you going to have anybody in the room with you?
I don't.
An assistant?
I would think so at some point.
I would think so. Aren't you the coordinator?
Well, right now they're short of staff. They're short 5 staff members.
Well, my point is, for some of the more strenuous things, another person would be handy.
However, I did get to hold babies this week.
I don't think this is the point.
And one baby we are related to, which was really,
We are related to babies?
we are related to a brand new baby. She's 5 months old.
5 months. Who's the mama?
The mama is a coordinator at the childcare. It's the daddy who is
I don't
your
know.
cousin.
I don't know the mama.
You don't know the mama.
Who was the lady that came outside and spoke
That's
to us?
the neighbor's daughter. That's why she knew who you were.
I remember nothing.
I know.
I
She's
got
the
it.
director.
Right. Yeah.
The best part is that the job is Aaron and I will be at the same place, but it's
That's not the best part.
right around the corner, so it's really close. If it were safe, I could walk over there.
You can walk.
But it's 2 days.
You better get ready for the throw them things.
Do I need a Kevlar to walk?
I don't know. That early in the morning, you might be fine.
Well, we were there, going on almost 10 o'clock, and there was the dude walking down the street with a gun.
I don't know what he had in his hand,
He
honestly.
had a gun. It was like this. He was holding up his pants. He had a gun like this. He was yelling.
I don't know what he was saying, though.
I don't know what he was saying either, but he had a gun. I saw it. You just kept on driving, so...
Yeah, I kept on driving. I'm not going to stop and have a conversation. That's for sure.
Nope. And then the next time we went, there was the forensics unit.
Yeah, but I don't care about that. By then, whatever happened, happened.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to worry about that part.
Well, I had asked, is my child going to be safe out in the park all day? And both of the director and the coordinator said that when the children are out there, that all of the nonsense moves away. And then when the children leave, then they all go back. For whatever reason, they don't do their thing when the children are out there.
Well, there's that. We have big news. Big news. Huge. Huge news.
You put a H there.
Huge.
You mean a Y?
No, you said H. It should be a Y.
No, it should be an H.
No, it should be an H.
I don't use that Trumpian New
Yeah, but
Yorker
Joe
language.
does the same thing. He says it the same way.
Yeah. Acacia Media Corporation,
LLC.
LLC, is live. If you've been following on the Facebook, you already know. So, the company has been structured. Do we have our EIN yet?
No, because the site was down.
I told you to go on the computer.
The site is
I
down.
don't believe
went
it. I bet
again.
you it's a mobile thing.
I went again to the desktop version. It wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was there under maintenance.
Under maintenance.
They can
I
do
think
maintenance
we're
in a
definitely
day.
going to need to get something to do business in a state outside of Michigan
Okay.
or outside of Delaware. We're registered in Delaware. I'm starting to link up stuff to go to the blog space. I can't do the portfolio thing that I wanted to do.
Why?
Because of Blueberry, I think, and it's not just a hosting site, it's a podcast hosting site. Our theme, which I don't know if we can have a new theme, but our theme essentially is for podcasters. And so when we make things, it's all geared toward the podcasting side of things and not toward other lines of businesses. So either we're going to have to create a new website, which we could. We have the domain, so if you want to go to thetravelingfars.com, you can. Or you can go to we got it. If you want to go to acaciamediacorp.com, we got it. And those go to the blog space right now. But I think we're probably going to need to make a dedicated Squarespace or
Wix.
thing for the portfolio style stuff. But if we do that, we're going to have to, whatever we do, we're going to have to bundle it with selling things.
And honey. Always got to use honey.
Well, that's just so that you get a good deal. So, but for now, we need to drum up some business. So, if you have some advertising needs, marketing needs, you need some video made, you got photos that need to be taken, you want some digital art,
we are here for you.
we are here for you. Acacia Media Corp.
And it's not November, which means it's not free.
What are you talking about?
No, their advertising is free in November.
No.
It
No.
was.
No.
Yeah,
No. That was the Napod Pomo thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Traveling Farrs can afford to give away free advertising anymore, but we might. Call us up. Let
Maybe.
us know. Send
See
us a
where we
message.
are in November.
Maybe. No, you might need to see us long before November. Maybe that's something we offer to clients that we work on and do stuff with every November. We'll shout them out on our podcast for no money.
Ooh. But then for the rest of the time, you got to pay.
Yeah, of course. But I'm not talking about advertising on this show. I'm talking about doing marketing and advertising materials for their businesses.
They still have to pay.
Well, yeah, but that's a different service.
Oh.
Totally different service. One of them
You
is
could pay us for
one of
both.
them is you're giving deliverables. The other one is you're booking time on our show.
You could do both. We'll take the money.
We'll take all the money. See, I don't have to do the anymore.
That's
But I
fabulous.
think you two still have to do your parts.
No, because you were supposed to take it from the one that we did a really good job on.
Yeah. We
But I don't think I-
recorded it.
I don't think I took it.
But you can.
We did.
But
We
it's-
did takes and everything.
I know.
That means you gotta go and get it.
I gotta find it.
You find it. It was like the last one that we did.
In Egypt.
Yeah. It's not hard to find.
Yeah, but it's already been out there and posted. All that stuff.
But that's what?
Not
Yeah.
my cat.
Stop it.
Well, it kind of is your cat.
Not my cat.
Because if he can't find it, he's gonna come to us with a recorder and say this.
But we're gonna say it
So-
now. So,
Why are you? No, you don't have to say your part.
yeah, I do.
Why?
Because if I say it now, it's already done for the audio version of the podcast.
Oh yeah, the audio doesn't get it.
If I don't, then I have to use the other one, and it's an editing.
You're
it's,
gonna have to change your paper.
It's not a fun. I don't have to change the paper.
Sure you
The
do.
Traveling Farrs, Traveling Farrs.
But you don't have to say blueberry.
No, I can say blueberry though. That's the blog space.
But
But
go
you
to
could
the
always
Traveling
just
Farm.
go to thetravelingfars.com. I need a ding.
There you go. There's your ding.
I used really for the first time, I think.
Really?
Oh.
Stan made the podcast.
Once again, because you used to use it all the time.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember
can't
using
read.
it, but I
In
used
China,
it.
you
I used
used
it
it.
recently. I used it recently.
You need a soundboard.
Really?
It's like a really small one with like 4 sounds on it. Just like an
We
explosion.
gotta get some loans. We gotta get some grants for our business, and then we can get some equipment.
Yeah.
All right. So, you ready? Got anything else for people? If you want to follow the Traveling Farrs, you can find us at the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever awesome podcasts are sold for free at the Traveling Farrs. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters, Traveling Farrs. If you'd like to send an email, travelingfars@gmail.com, and the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry.
Don't forget to follow our Patreon. Patreon.com/thetravelingfars.
And you can find us on GoFundMe at The Traveling Farrs. And feel free to send us some money through Cash App. $, The Traveling Farrs.
That's it. That's all we got. I'm hungry.
Me too.
Me too. I'm very
Which,
hungry.
what are we doing for food?
What do you
Even
want?
though I had a really
I don't know.
weird
Pizza.
sandwich.
I don't want pizza.
I want pizza.
You know what's funny? I can say that I don't want pizza until I smell pizza, and then I really
yeah, it's like,
want
it's
pizza.
like fries.
But I
As soon as
really
you
don't
smell
want
fries,
pizza.
Could go for
you
fries.
want fries. I had a really weird sandwich that was 2 pancakes, peanut butter, pineapple, and chicken.
Oh dear.
And then it was all warmed.
What is
No
wrong?
cheese?
Are you pregnant?
No cheese?
No, I can't do the cheese and the peanut butter.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I can't do that.
Even though it is actually delicious.
cheese and pineapple, that's okay, fine.
No,
That's-
but cheese
that's on a pizza.
and cheese and peanut butter is actually really
I
good.
can't. I tried it once and almost threw
And
it
I'm
off.
not and I'm
I
not talking
can't
about
do it.
like good cheese. I'm talking about that oily American cheese
Ugh.
with
Ugh.
peanut butter.
I absolutely hate American cheese.
I'm telling you,
I cannot stand American cheese.
that's the good stuff.
It's the nastiest cheese.
No, man, it's the good stuff. And it melts all perfect.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. It's all oily. It just melts away. It's great.
Ugh. Oh,
All right, that's
so
it.
bad.
Say goodbye to people.
Bye, folks.
Say goodbye to people. Peace.